So before we jump in, do you have any questions or anything?
Uh, what do you like about like what we're gonna be doing or what?
Yeah, just like any questions about you as a player, just anything like that that you haven't asked in the DMs yet.
What's it called? I'm pretty good at playing every role. I think in this game I played hard support or flex,
Mm-hmm.
and this was a scrim.
Okay.
And the time just go to 45 minutes. That's
Yeah,
the
we
time
know
on
one
it.
of them.
As you were saying though.
So what's it called? I play flex and support most of the time. And this was an old team that I used to play on,
Mm-hmm.
and this was against the current team I'm on. So
Okay.
and then what else? And one thing that I really feel like I struggle with is like playing with my teammates. If that makes sense.
So what, like listening to calls or anything like that? Just.
No, just like reading their body language, and also like utility, uh playing off my utility.
With your teammates or just you as an individual?
Like if there's like barbed wire on the door, like just being like my positioning. I would say that.
So is it utility and positioning or just positioning?
Oh, probably well utility placement, and then but then uh positioning itself also.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll be sure to touch on that throughout the VOD.
Right.
We'll play with fucking.
Alright, our defense man, we're gonna get Cade.
And
No control.
So this
How do we want to play first round when they go upstairs?
this VOD is from an old team.
First off.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so these bands don't matter then.
Say that again.
The bands don't matter then.
I like it.
They're
Alright.
probably gonna do a garage. They're probably gonna do garage first, bro.
Just because every team has different bands and different reasons, so.
Maverick, do you want 6-6 to something else? Do you want 6-6 to like Zofia or something like that? And I still play with a couple of the players from this team, and I just felt like some of the rounds on this were good, but could have easily been better, and then others weren't as good.
Mhm.
So that's why I picked this one because I still play with two of the other 4 people.
Okay.
So.
Do they even have a mirror?
And am I supposed to be able to hear it?
No, you're not gonna be able to hear it because of the screen share thing. If I share the tab in Chrome, you won't be able to see me draw like this.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
So this, are you guys like in any leagues, or you just guys just scrim?
Yes, we are in a league right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and it starts on Monday, so we're just trying to get set up with this new team that I'm on.
Okay. Does your team that you're on right now have any current strats or anything like that?
Yes, we do. Yes. On this map, we had one. We do not have attacking strats. We kind of just try to get a general call of where, and I forgot how well we did with this on this one.
Okay. One thing that you missed out on was shooting default cam outside.
Okay.
They can't. They don't have a bandit.
And I'm a gold to plat player. What the crap? This guy just flicked the crap out of me.
Okay, so here, you need to understand how important you are as the Capitao.
Right.
And also the fact that you don't have any vertical players, and you're also pushing alone, right? So, if you're trying to take upstairs control on consulate, you need to have other people with you. Just so you know, because even if you are trying to take upstairs, you know, you as the Capitao player should not be one of the first people to die. Just because Capitao is such a dense operator and he can do so much with his fire bolts as well as his smoke bolts. He's super strong for that reason. Like he's like the equivalent to like Thatcher or something like that in terms of utility and influence during a round. So you should play the round as Capitao as a much more passive player and operator, just because of how much you can do. But recognize this is kind of why I was asking if you guys have any strats or anything, is because just the way that you're attacking seems like it's more like ranked than anything. Just
Okay.
because of what you're trying to do here. So you're trying to take circle control. Meanwhile, your teammates are getting the wall open, and I know that because I just heard the thermite explode as well.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important that you have attacking strats. Arguably, and in my opinion, some people might disagree with me or agree, but in my opinion, I think that attacking strats are much more important than defensive ones, because on defense usually there's like a general layout, especially with reinforcements and utility.
Yeah.
And it's also a lot easier to adjust that stuff if you ever need to. Versus attack that is much more reliant on adaptation from you and your team. So just recognize that your team isn't, trying to take circle desk control with you or anything above. They're going straight for the wall. Because you died here was a very unnecessary death. And also, like, Ash is even taking admin and stuff too, right? So
Yeah,
I'm confused. I'm confused what's going on here. So on your current team, just relay kind of what I'm saying now of how important this stuff is of having these strats, because if you're all over the place, like Ash is admin side on repel with diffuser, you're trying to take circle desk, and then two people, thermite and thatcher, I believe, maybe Mav as well, are taking wall. So this is all over the place.
Yeah, I think the Ash also ends up dying with the diffuser upstairs also.
Yeah, Jaeger's top spiral.
Yeah, so again, like, if you want to play comp or anything like that, you need to have strats. Or else I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not really worth your time.
Alright.
Um,
So one of our main problems that we kept feeling was that, like, our chemistry just wasn't there, if that made sense. Like, so would you just say do ranks, or just keep doing scrims, or what would you say? Or you keep go ahead, go ahead.
It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Like, if you're trying to, like, win leagues and stuff like that, then keep scrimming, yeah. But if you're just scrimming to scrim, then there's really no point in doing that. Ranked is just with the way that you guys are approaching the competitive side of the game. Ranked, it will just be a scrim with less rounds to you guys. Just from watching this one round. So, if you want to take comp seriously and maybe pursue some sort of career with it, then starting on console is fine, but ultimately you're gonna have to switch to PC just because there's little to no support of comp on console.
Yeah.
And also just having these default things of a blueprint or a structure to an attacking or defensive round is just like something that you can do outside of the game that'll help out so much inside of the game.
Okay.
Um,
So when you first started, like, I don't know, like, when you first get a team together or you go into a new team, do you usually start working on strats right away, or what? Like, start and try to execute strats right away, or what?
once the roster is solidified, yeah, because that's
Okay.
the next step is the first step usually is finding 5 consistent and available players that all get along well to an extent, and then the next step would be creating strats and just having discussions outside of the game, because it's not always inside of the game that matters. It's not the rounds that matter at the start. It's making sure that there's a structure and a foundation, because if you try to progress as a team, not only is it going to take you much longer, but you're going to end up finding throughout that process of trying to scrim each day, 5 days a week, 6-7 days a week, that you're eventually going to realize that, hey, we need to make strats, we need to make call out sheets, we all need to be on the same page, because if you're not, then there's no point in doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
It's just going to
What do you
be
use to make your strats?
battleplanner.io.
Okay. Alright.
And I mean, you can even like copy Pro League strats or whatever it is. Like, it doesn't matter as long as there's something there, and everyone knows where utility goes, reinforcements, what they're supposed to do, where they're supposed to play, just stuff like that. Like, helps out tremendously. So, if you want to, take comp seriously, then you have to you know, do these basic things before you even think about loading into a scrim lobby.
Okay.
I don't know how serious you and your team are or whatever it is, but I do offer a team package where it can go over anything.
Alright.
20 seconds. 25.
I can go over strats, VOD review, individual player work, whatever it is.
Alright.
Alright, somebody besides me. Yeah, that was bad.
Oh no. Cass is probably.
Alright. So we gotta play buff. We have to play buff.
Yeah, we gotta play both.
Yep.
No, above.
I say above, because they're gonna deadly hold from above. There's gonna be people sitting outside and people above. It's mostly castle.
Alright, watch your spawn kills.
Visa clear.
They're probably gonna have
the one.
No, they're like all downstairs. I can hear shotgun. So.
That's castles.
Alright, watch that VC again, because they might have a visual playing it.
You mean to break their castle?
Don't break it yet. We don't want to push front door.
I can break
We
their
can take top
castle.
floor control. Alright, I'm gonna join top floor. I'm gonna clear head for you guys. We're piling up.
If you're gonna go and repel here, you can throw a nitro outside of these windows, and it'll kill you where you're at. So if you want to open these windows, just go on upside down repel.
Alright.
Clear head, piling up.
Because someone can throw a nitro cell outside of the window and then kill you.
Okay, there's somebody on spiral.
Alright.
Like, see, even there, did you notice how nobody droned right side admin, and now you're gonna die to it most likely? Did you notice this? How you drone in, and as well as your teammates?
My teammate was droning it, and he said that there's someone on what's it called main desk. So that guy ran over fast or something like that.
Yeah, but
don't know
yeah,
exactly
but
what happened.
I mean, even then, it's still not being droned. Like, copy isn't being droned. Break room, right side admin. Like, if we go back here, let me see. There's a moment where you see your teammates drone. Okay, well you hear it nonetheless. He's on a drone to the right of you. So like even this alone, like this is why you need like strats or just a basic understanding of what people are supposed to do, because now you guys are overlapping your drones for no reason. Like you're overlapping your drones in these areas, and it's completely missing break room, copy, and right side admin, which you know could have very easily gotten you killed if this Valk doesn't whiff. So having that basic structure to your attack will help people understand what they should be doing and how they should do it, because you know, just like understanding what they're supposed to be droning, right? Because there your drones are overlapping for no reason. Very easily prevented. You droned that Wamai out with your Iona clone, and you didn't say anything, so just make sure that you're given that info.
Okay.
There's that right there, RP. You need me to get any walls? I think that was
Oh,
Maverick
guys,
that I
guys.
heard.
There's one in this projector room on ping. I don't have a drone.
One in this corner right there.
There's one in the office. He's got shot at.
Yeah, Giannis, he's to the right in this room.
Oh, you're looking at it, Wamai.
No. Yeah, I didn't notice that one.
Shit, they're good at visual.
Yeah, so if you see Wamai in this room, right, you should expect to have Wamais. There's also, you know, when you're droning, there's two right here as well.
Yeah. I think earlier on in the game, I ended up saying that I thought I saw a visual, but I should have been able to see that. Saw that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, even you wanting to throw a nade in, you know, just bounce it off the door frame here, right? Because it effectively does the same thing of trying to get it in that corner, but you do it from a much safer position. Because if you see here, like you expose yourself to Baguette, you expose yourself to Olive Meeting as well as Connector. So just whenever you're doing something, understand what's the safest way to do it. So whenever you're approached with trying to do something as an attacker or defender, you know, sometimes you're not going to always be able to apply this logic to the situation just because you need to do something risky for the round win. but if you ever have to do something that you're not being not pressure to do, but you have the option to do it from a much safer location, just evaluate a situation and understand what you're trying to accomplish, and then think about what is the safest way that I can not expose myself to multiple angles or whatever it is.
You got a visual back there?
Alright.
Right there. I'm dead.
You rotate out.
You was last
Oh my god.
Yeah, you guys need attacking strats.
They're gonna be top 4.
Okay.
We need claymores. Oh wait, Buck is a hard reach.
Well, it doesn't have climber. We have 3 claymores so far. Yes,
Right.
What's it called? So they had a sledge. Oh wait, no. Pull stick pick.
Like communicate.
Things that floor control. Third floor. I mean.
They have a pulse.
This is my one. My
And we have Zofia as well.
I can get him too with my freaking.
Yeah. We can get the well. I mean yeah, but like we gotta push. Try to get Visa control, and then get quick light and tellers. But we gotta drown out Visa.
Visa's clear. You got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, shoot that guy right there.
How did I miss those, bro?
That's the mirror.
That must be crazy. Yeah,
There's
Mirror's
no
dead.
one in
Mirror's
tellers.
AFK.
Oh wait, they're giving us control.
No, they're playing underneath.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you're about to get
Yes, we go in here
nitroed.
and break the evil eyes.
Oh, chill out. Make sure I don't die.
So nitro
Evil
style.
eyes.
We need to recognize that they have a pulse. You even called it out.
Alright.
Pulse is like right below
Somebody cover
Visa.
stairs. Somebody
Alright.
cover stairs. Somebody cover stairs.
I'll cover stairs.
Thatcher.
Yeah, like you can die this whole time.
Pulse is below Visa right there.
Oh, Maestro's final.
He just got off his camps.
Oh wait, pulse.
Thatcher,
This
Thatcher.
is breakable. Shoot.
Thatcher.
Pulse is below.
Thatcher.
Yes.
Drop me diffuser.
Oh shit. Pulse is below. He's below A.
Somebody is in sight. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Macie is in sight.
Dead. Dead.
Alright.
Oof.
Oh, pulse.
Yeah, dropping below here is not the move at all. You're frag chasing.
You guys want me to go push downstairs? Well,
Understand that you guys have full sight control above. There's no reason for you to go below.
I think the reason that I did this was because I knew that we could get C4'd out on the plant.
No,
So I
no,
wanted to-
if your teammates are smart enough, they know not to. They know not to
Last is on diffuser.
plant on the wall, like, or on the floor.
Diffusey.
Like
Yeah.
you can plant all. Yeah, see, they planted on the table.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I backed up and got him.
Yeah, you see, like how you dropping like put all of your teammates in a bad position.
Okay. Last is on
Yeah.
diffuser.
So same thing that I said earlier, like last round with you trying to nade. Understand. So that is a situation where you made a decision that you wanted to make. You wanted to drop. You wanted to push sight, and you wanted to get kills. That's not a situation where you need to drop and you need to get kills and you need to do this or that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So understand that whenever you're in a situation like that, where you feel like you want to do something, same thing that I said the rem previously, where evaluate a situation to see the risk factor of you doing something, like you exposing yourself to all of meeting and connector and all that, right? Same thing there of, what am I benefiting from when I drop this hatch into archives and server?
Yeah.
What are you benefiting from where you feel the need to do this, or you want to do this? You're not really benefiting from anything. You could have applied that same amount of pressure by just doing vertical play.
Okay.
So far, do you have any questions or anything like that at all?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
I don't know how
kinda,
many shots
Like with half the shots.
No, but I shot him 4 times.
He literally like one tapped me.
Gotta get out of that.
If you're gonna be playing in a competitive environment, think about what the team needs and not what you need.
Okay.
Always put your team before you, no matter what.
Alright. Oh, once you win 3, you can go back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Are you talking about last round or the butt pick or what part?
No, just overall.
Okay. Alright.
If you want to take comp seriously, just think about your team. It's not.
That's the one thing.
It's not. It's not all about you. At that point.
Yeah.
Yes, like see, even like your operator selection, like throughout your team, is just very inconsistent. Like you guys gotta make these strats and just this default stuff.
Top floor control and push down. Because that Jaeger is probably also going to be playing Spiral, like he was last round. Like last time they were downstairs. So we're going to have to get that Jaeger and Vigil out immediately. Because I'm pretty sure those were... Okay, Jaegers are... Or not Jaeger. Vigils are top frag.
Wait, anyone has grenades? No.
Do you see how they are going garage and they keep having someone go, like the mirror go bathroom and everything every round? That's what you guys need on attack as well as defense. I don't know about defense so far, but on attack you guys need just this basic structure. Else, you know, you're gonna have people like this Zofia going on bathroom repel. You're gonna have people, you know, this Ash going in admin for some reason. Like you're just gonna have people all over the place for no reason.
Yeah.
Somebody's top floor. Well, I put your own team.
Marsh came effective. Left tire. Marsh is behind white van.
Jaeger's top floor. Jaeger's top
Behind white van on cams.
Where? Oh my god! Fucking call it out, please. Jesus.
Marsh is behind white van.
Hey, Vigil and Jaeger are both playing top floor.
I hit Maestro.
Maestro dead.
Above.
Watch your left, watch your left.
Above, watch for the
Okay, you dropping there is fine. Because you were reading off of the information previously of your teammates calling Maestro back white van. They said that like 20-30 seconds ago. But now what you've done is you've also missed a piece of information where the Vigil and Jaeger top floor. And this Ash died as well as Zofia.
Okay.
So now what the the defenders have is one person in sight, yeah, but now they have sight access and they also have vertical pressure, which is something that you should have.
Nice. Watch yellow stairs. This is where Roman's gonna make one out from. Go for a plant if you can. Roman, in that door to your left. Ace, you saw Jaeger.
Yep, yellow. Here's yellow.
Oh, you have diffuser as well. Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
Let's go!
look at my potato, guys. It's fine.
Go.
Just
Box
Roman.
Gotten
On side.
So we
also gotta just kill the Romans. Like they're playing. They're playing
Yeah.
garage.
What's it called?
They're Jaeger.
Like those last 10 seconds of that last round, like when I knew that the Vigil and Jaeger were had to come from somewhere, would you have said to keep watching where I was watching or plant, or we still ended up winning the round, but what do you think? If you were in that situation, how would you have played it?
If I was put in that situation where you're in garage, I would have planted on the little metal box side white van. Listen for the audio drop on bathroom hatch, and then have my teammate hold yellow stairs, walk down.
Okay.
Because you know that they have to come from somewhere, and they have to come from somewhere upstairs. So if they go yellow, my teammate's holding it. If they drop bathroom hatch, I have an audio cue. And if they come backside like spiral or bottom visa stairs, it's gonna take too long for the plant to go down. So they're not gonna be able to kill me. So I'll be able to plant successfully. Everything else is already taken care of with the audio drop on bathroom hatch and my teammate holding yellow. And then by the time they even reach site, reach cafe or security hallway, then I'll be off plant by that point and I can take the gunfight.
The two roamers are gonna be playing all the way up.
Yep, their topper is Jaeger this time.
I would like to see you save your drones more.
That's literally how they play every single round. Like they just
Because if you and your team aren't gonna have anything like basic of understanding where people should pre-place their drones and what they should be droning, then Drones are gonna be needed a lot more than usual.
Yeah.
Going right into
Just
that.
because there's
And
what's
I
that?
don't know if I called it out, but I think I called out that I was gonna put a pre-place in bathroom,
That was
and that was just to contest these two guys that play here.
I don't know who that was.
Yeah, sure, but
maybe a vigil,
you know, you doing this isn't really
So,
like you're solo trying to clear these guys, and then they just don't know how to counter you. Like this Jaeger's lost.
extra chopper here.
alright guys, we have upper hand right now. We want to get these walls open. Where's Ace?
Which ones? Coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of them?
Just yeah, if you can. Maestro's hard right, that from the wall. Maestro's just chilling in that corner. He's kind of stuck there. Yeah, he's hard right. Actually, hold up.
Another thing that I'm not noticing that you're doing is just calling out basic stuff like you need to be saying to your teammates, "Hey, I have bathroom control. Hey, Mira dead. Hey, Jaeger dead."
Alright.
Like just even this this basic transparency through audible calls is super important. Okay, you dropped again. This is not good because they're gonna be expecting you this time.
Dead.
This one's gonna be cafe.
That's
Us is
what's
gonna be small
new.
office behind that mirror.
Yeah, behind that mirror.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, went into cafe.
Not behind that mirror.
Okay, so you know that the last two are gonna be sight, by the way, because Maestro's back white van. Your teammates are calling that out, and mute has never
Yeah,
have.
that was the reason that I went into the window is because of gun audio. I heard that two guys are downstairs. That's the only reason I went into the window.
What do you mean? The antechamber window?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you dropping bathroom hatch, because you have vertical
Okay.
pressure, right? So instead of
Yeah.
you need to understand how important and strong that is. Like you as the buck player, that's your job is to apply vertical
Yeah.
pressure. It's not to drop hatch each round, right? If you
Yep.
apply vertical pressure, it's now creating a crossfire for your teammates, right? Because
Okay.
you're applying vertical pressure down, meanwhile your teammates are applying horizontal pressure. So now you have vertical pressure and horizontal pressure. So this mute in Maestro, if the Maestro was still alive, now they have to worry about two different angles and lines of sight that's going to be on them instead of one, which is the horizontal plane instead of, you know, the x-axis when when you had the possibility of them also worrying about the y-axis when it comes to vertical and horizontal, right?
Yeah.
So you always want this. You never want, you know, you dropping and then having both of you, all of your teammates only applying horizontal pressure across
Okay.
across the bump site.
Oh my god. Just get that one.
Yeah. Maybe should have thrown us. No, never mind.
Good job, guys.
Fucking job.
See, we deal with
Yeah,
these roamers
True,
first.
true. Yeah, it's a room. That's
Because was
So I put angle, basically.
rounds leave or I
Angles like
I am. All right, so
middle desk and get some in office as well. Because like they played office really hard last round because they got like walls reinforced.
What I suggest to you and your teammates and your team currently is to watch. I have a video on how to strat.
Council windows. That's what I'm gonna do.
I have a video on how to make strats. So like what you should be looking out for and like what you should be doing.
I think there's
I have a video on IGLing, and I also have a video on rolls as well, which I posted recently. So if you guys want to take it seriously, because if your teammates aren't wanting to take it serious, and you know you eventually want to go somewhere, then your teammates are a waste of time. Just because you putting in that time versus them not is not going to go over well in a competitive environment.
Yeah.
But like if you guys are wanting to take it seriously, then watch those videos. Because it'll tell you most of the basic things that you should be looking out for when it comes to competitive play and stuff like that.
Jaeger's spiral. Oh my god. Jaeger's bottom spiral.
There's one on yellow.
Where do you guys want me to push from?
That's
That's
top
Yo,
right.
don't break the window. Right here. Pre-fire. Right here. Right here. He's right on there.
Yeah, you gotta say who you're talking to because you can't just yell
I
right.
don't know. I couldn't.
That's mute dead. Those are top floor. Those are roamers. Jaeger's playing mid floor. Like he's, unless he rotated back up to yellow. It's just, you'd probably be able to hear him.
One thing that I've been noticing about you and like how you're playing is you just like you kind of willingly go into areas of the map where you have like no information on besides the info that you got. So
Okay.
you know you're playing under the assumption that everything's just gonna go your way whenever you do it. And I'm
Right.
sure you've been punished before where something doesn't go your way and you just keep doing it over and over. So stop having the expectation of things going your way in an area of the map or around or whatever, because it's going to create this really bad habit of you just doing things because you expect them to work or you know that they're going to work. Because if you're a plat 3 player or plat 1 player, you're going to reach a certain point in your skill where you're going to be playing against players who are going to punish you for stuff like this that you're doing.
Okay.
Alright,
So I'm gonna
hatch
fire
is
too.
open. Yeah, hatch is open. Watch that right door, Buck. Like, if you walk out, yeah, the stairs.
I'm gonna watch stairs.
Alright, you
Okay,
still
so like even here, yeah, applying vertical pressure super important. You need to be utilizing the fact that you're buck and you're buck for a reason. So make sure that you're doing your job.
Oh shit, I saw him.
Someone watch this, bro.
Yeah, my show is my mom.
Alright, I'm watching Vista still.
We got a minute. We got a minute.
50 seconds.
What's the plan? What's the plan? What are we doing?
Well,
I'm
my show's
trying
on
to
site
find
for
it.
sure. We don't
Wait,
have
so-
a black dude and Jaeger.
Jaeger sounds
Yeah, you
like
guys
he's
are missing
Vista.
default
Alright,
cams as
let's
well.
start pushing now.
Like I've seen you run past and like miss a lot of default cams.
One big
You need to be
It was last seen by bomb.
you need to be shooting those. Yeah, you got to be applying way more vertical pressure. That you should not be applying this vertical pressure in the last 30 seconds of the round. Understand that with your job and your utility, what you're supposed to do, what you're expected to do.
Shit. Jesus.
It's just trying to stick.
As Buck, you're expected and supposed to do vertical play.
Oh, that's what
Dang,
yeah.
there's flags from Mainters.
Nice try.
With Ash, you're expected to get rid of shields or Maestro cams. With Maverick, you're expected to hard breach the wall. With
Start doing crack.
you know, whatever it is, right? With IQ, you're expected to get yokai cams and Velt cams, or you know, just understand why you're bringing an operator in the first place. Don't just go an operator because you're comfortable with them, which is another thing that goes back into
And most of the time
me saying like,
really fast.
you know, these default things of a competitive setting need to be happening, because they're not, and it's just gonna be a really hard time for you and your team to try to do things because you don't have this basic layout.
Solution is to
Is
bring
somebody gonna play
black
behind
here.
counter?
I am not.
I'll play it.
Probably right side ping.
This shield here can be used in much better locations, by the way.
Yeah,
It can be put in
Okay.
Bosco's spot. Do you know what Bosco is?
No, I do not.
Bosco is the corner in meeting next to the plant in the couch, the little chair. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's Bosco. That's a commonly placed shield location. Put one in connector. Put one long desk or baguette. Top yellow really isn't as powerful as other ones.
Okay.
I also don't have impact.
Maestro.
There's open.
Also, you guys reinforce all SEO. Like, yeah, like you got to make sure that you have these basic stuff, this basic stuff laid out.
Yeah.
Or there's really no point in you guys trying to scrim or whatever it is.
Bathroom window.
Is
Shut
that
it down.
bathroom
They're
window?
Vista,
Alright.
Vista.
Pulling up right now.
They
You
was
destroyed the
sledging
drone.
beats.
Oh no.
Bathroom window, they threw a drone in.
What are you trying to accomplish here when you're running into CO like this?
Yeah, they was sledging Vista.
I don't think I was doing. I don't think I was thinking right here.
Drone in.
at all, and and I realized when I watched this VOD back through, I realized that this is the worst decision I could have made this entire round.
Most definitely.
Like, you understand how important smoke is as an operator, right?
Yes.
Yeah, same thing with Capital. Like, understand that these dense utility operators are super important for the rounds,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
they're extremely impactful.
Right side. He's in like that
Yeah,
spot over
he's
there.
in Thatcher. He's in the
Wait, he shot. That's
Yeah,
Wait,
connector.
connector.
inside.
Hmm. Okay, so whenever one of the things that you said was positioning and stuff like that. So whenever you load into a round, whether it's attack or defense, think about what you're going to do, and think about why you want to do it, and then because like what I said last round about you just doing things and hoping that they go in your direction, like the reason you think that way, most likely, at least from my perspective, is that you're thinking that way just because you've done things in the past to the point where you think that it's okay to not think or to not put any thought into your positioning or utility placement or something, just because you can get away with that. So whenever you load, or before you even load into a round and, whatever it is on attack or defense, think about, okay, I'm X operator, I have Y utility, and and then ask yourself, okay, what do I want to do during this round? What do I want to accomplish while in the process of that, helping my team along the way? That's what I want you to do every single round. Doesn't matter if it's ranked, casual, a scrim, unranked, whatever it is. If you do that one thing, it'll clear your thought process up, and it'll help you think about how to properly play this game, because you're kind of just going into rounds like, oh, okay, well, let's just see what happens. You need to make things go your way. You need to bend the advantages that you have to your advantage even more, or bend the situations that that you struggle with to your advantage, or figure out how to make them to your advantage. Because there's little to no thought being put into these rounds, and that's not how Siege is supposed to be played, and it definitely will not. It'll be a horrible habit for you to try to break once you actually realize this. The later down the line, when you start to improve, and you still sit there every single round, ask yourself, why am I not winning these gunfights? Why am I not as good as one of my friends that I think is really good? Why am I not this? Why can't I do this or that, or whatever it is? If you just do this one thing of thinking about what you want to accomplish during a round, it'll help you with positioning, it'll help you with decision making, utility usage, efficiency with utility. It'll keep you consistent during the round, and it'll also help with making sure that you don't get lost or tunnel visioned on something, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
better and
And what's it called? I just remember
Damage.
with the pre-place drone thing, you said that you had a video that would help with knowing how to set that up and stuff like that.
I don't have a video specifically on droning, but I have a video on IGLing, and that kind of goes over that. But, or sorry, strats. And I'm sure you can probably find other videos on strats and stuff if if my video doesn't help. I don't know if you watch much Pro League or not, but watch Pro League. Like, seriously, if you want to take competitive serious, like, you gotta be on top of your game. You gotta be doing these things outside of the game that'll help you when you are inside of it. Because if you don't, then I'm gonna be honest with you, it's just gonna be a waste of your time. I assume you're a young kid. You got school, you got friends, you got a life outside of the game that you want to live. And if you're not taking comp as serious as it should be taken, then it's just going to be a waste of your time, to the point where you could have spent it doing other things that would have given you much more fulfillment and enjoyment out of it. So you have to be willing to do these things outside of the game, or else there's no point in doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
But when it comes to you know, the drone thing and everything. Watch Pro League because, you know, and then take down notes or you know, watch a VOD multiple times and see where just watch your favorite Pro League team because, you know, they're all in Pro League at the end of the day. They're the top players in the entire world, or else they wouldn't be in that position of being a pro player.
Yeah.
So, you know, take notes on where they're pre-placing drones, take notes on what map control they're taking initially and how that ties into their pre-placed drones or what flank drones they set or what players do what whenever, you know, in X amount of time into the round or whatever it is, right? Just pay attention to stuff like that.
Okay.
The biggest thing that can help you learn with learning, you know, the competitive side of the game is asking yourself why a pro league player is doing something during a round, so that way it'll help you understand instead of just saying, oh, that player made a good play there or he made a good decision there. Understand and ask yourself, why is he doing that and how did he make it work, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Who we're pushing from?
On a spiral. That's right.
Stairs, thing.
And on these drones, it's
No,
just
we
so
were doing pretty good. We need some.
like,
They're pushing stairs? Yeah, man. Stairs.
Ash on stairs.
Shit,
Ash on
they're
stairs.
pushing stairs? Yeah, man.
Stairs.
Ash is stairs.
Ash is on admin stairs. Boots the stairs. They also have a sledge repelled.
One just broken from this window.
Alright, I'm playing
Gurney.
computer. Watching the stairs.
I'm on bottom visa right now. Is Ash still?
There's no point in you being bottom visa stairs and holding this. Nobody's gonna come down, which is I'm assuming what you're trying to accomplish. And then
Okay.
and do you know why that is?
Probably because they already have the map control of it.
No, it's because your teammate here is looking through the visa wall.
Okay.
Pay attention to stuff like this.
Alright.
If your teammates aren't willing to call stuff out like this, and they should be, this is such a basic thing that they should be doing. If he's not willing to call that stuff out, then pay attention to stuff like this, right? Reading the teammates' body language and stuff, you know?
Yeah. I need to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
yeah, sure, no problem.
I'm back.
Alright. All that makes sense, though?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions so far, anything?
Somebody's on
No.
spiral.
Okay.
Maestro, watch behind you. Yeah, Maestro, watch behind you.
That's the guy on spot.
One's in over here. It's hibana. Got him.
Good kills, good kills.
So top
Good
fragger.
kill.
Nice.
Reload, please. Thank you. Cam.
Okay, they still got people outside on that little balcony.
This one?
No, wait, is there somebody on that?
Outside of admin? Because someone broke out.
Got him. That's another.
Broke it earlier. You know, they got people on this
Oof.
little balcony. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, same thing here with you know, just doing things expecting them to work. Same thing there.
Yeah.
Understand why you want to do something, and then ask yourself, okay, why am I doing this, and what am I benefiting from doing this?
Maybe don't peek.
Yeah.
Else you're gonna keep doing this revolving door of doing things, hoping that they'll work, and then they don't work, and then you're not learning from it.
Hey, Laurel, you're
The biggest thing with this game when it comes to an individual player's learning, right, is learning from your mistakes. I'm sure you've heard it
Yeah.
time and time again. Make sure that you understand why that is.
Like that.
get some reinforcements in this one.
Oof. Yeah, putting all three ADSs here is not the move at all, because they have Thatcher, right? And you know they have Thatcher because your teammates were bringing them previously in the game. If they throw one EMP, they not only get probably all of the wall in terms of the bandit batteries, but all three ADSs as well.
Dash.
Same thing there with the logic of understanding why you want to do something. You said even earlier before we watched the VOD, you want to get better with utility placement. Well, ask yourself, what operators do they have to my utility that can counter my utility?
I'm being hacked.
Yeah.
They don't have a Twitch, right?
No, not that we know of. No, they do not.
Just put the bandits on.
Yeah, just put your bandits down. The 3 wall is pretty hard to bandage strike when you can like do. Like when you only have
I don't know.
one
I don't know.
operator.
I don't know if all the 3 Jaegers on that drone hole is the play right there.
I mean,
It might not
honestly,
be.
you could do one wall, but it would be a little hard to do.
What's your plan here?
What's it called? Someone said that they no, not someone. What's it called? I thought I had heard a Monty outside, so I was just gonna sit there.
Okay.
It was a bad.
Okay,
It was a bad idea.
so two things with this. One, even if
Mhm.
they have a Monty, he's most likely going to check this position, and now you have to fight your way out. And
Right.
two, even if they don't have a Monty, they still are most likely going to drone this.
Okay.
So, do you see why this is an issue here? Because
Yeah.
you put yourself in like a box, like a literal room that's a box. And now you have to
Yeah.
fight your way out instead of just having, you know, you play circle desk or jungle or whatever it is. So, what I like, this is going to be the most consistent thing that you can apply to yourself that's going to help out tremendously is ask yourself just a simple question, why am I doing this?
Okay.
And then answer that question to yourself. Okay, well, if you don't have a good enough answer, or you don't think the answer is appropriate, then you shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
And then ask, okay, what can counter me while I'm doing this or doing that or using my utility like this? Or making this decision. Like, just apply that one question of, why am I doing this? Why am I putting down my utility here? Why am I positioning myself here? Why am I making this decision? Every single round, every single game.
Yeah, they got a thatch anyway.
Hey, we have a barbed wire right here.
We got people yellow stairs, not on, but on the door.
And I'm getting droned out. I think there's someone from security room outside to the right, Legion. I don't know if you want to check it out.
Yo, there's someone yellow quarter.
Oh, they're pushing in. I think they're gonna go for the plant.
They're in.
Shit.
They're in sight.
No, my battery's so low. Shit.
Fuck!
Sorry, I shot you, Puck.
You're good.
Being hatched.
There are my slits.
Oh my god! How did they get in that fast, bro?
If they're in sight like this, you need to commit to yellow. You can't afford to
Alright.
rotate because you see where both of your teammates are at.
Yeah.
This Velk is back white and this Legion is in cafe somewhere. You need to commit to that because you desperately need it. You
Yeah.
can't afford to rotate back because they have full garage control, site control.
Yeah.
No fucking clue, man.
My aim.
Zofia's on ping. She's in
I
the
just, I
security
just,
room.
I just a
She's
little
on
bit
a mirror.
above that.
Yeah.
Oh my.
More.
What?
I fucking.
So we.
I stay.
Going more.
Alright, guys, for this one, we're gonna have to hold main. Like, we're gonna need, like, at least 3 people playing upstairs.
I can play
Okay.
upstairs.
Yeah, Maestro and, Castle, if you two wanna stay on site. Castle,
play
did you put a
B-side.
castle on main door?
If you're gonna put Barb there, put it here. I understand why you're putting it there, but they can just vault through tellers, walk through this
Right.
door, and then walk, completely avoid the Barb, right?
Okay.
Also, I don't know why you're running Barb on Mazie. You should have Nitro,
Castle,
play
did you put a
B-side.
castle
especially if
on
you guys don't
Right.
have a smoke or an
You're
echo
just gonna be able to get that really easy.
or a tachanka even.
Like, put one on piano door or something. I got it. Oh, okay. Yeah, like, put one on, piano door. Or even, over here.
Putting one on piano.
Alright, cool. Alright, I'm playing upstairs. If you guys wanna come up here.
When they're
cover
trying to go
hedge.
through admin.
Mozzie, push back.
They already got main.
That's true.
I got wall bangs. Okay.
Yeah, you see how you're doing this again? You're expecting things
Yeah.
to go your way. You just gotta stop doing this.
Alright.
You just have to. Like you can't just expect things to go your way just because you want them to, because they won't. Like even here, you making the decision of wall banging this door. You know that they can see your feet below the barricade because they're at a deficit. Even you shooting through the barricade, like nobody's gonna be up here this close because you would hear them. So you need to be shooting like on this line here. This is where the top of the stairs is, somewhere around this area.
Yeah.
So you just gotta make a decision, and again, ask yourself, why am I making this decision, and what am I benefiting from this decision in my positioning? How can I be countered in my positioning? Well, this one here, the biggest counter is they can see you through the doorway, and also you're trapped if they do open this barricade at some point.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, like the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this session is to ask yourself those simple questions of, why am I doing this? What am I benefiting from it? How can I be countered across everything? Utility, droning, positioning, decision making, whatever it is. That one question apply to everything.
Okay.
But other than that, do you have any questions or anything before we wrap it up?
No. But thank you for doing this.
Did I help at all? Are you satisfied?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I've learned more. Because I always felt like there's something missing, but I can never like realize what it was. So it really helps with that.
Yeah, you need to understand how to self-evaluate. And
Alright.
what I'm telling you to do with those questions is self-evaluation, but on a micro level. I
Okay.
don't know how long you've been playing the game, but it'll become to a certain point where you should start asking yourself those questions as well, but like long term of, okay, why am I not improving? Why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing that? And then in turn of you asking that question, it'll also lead you to the question of, how do I improve? How do I get better? How do I do this? Right?
Yeah.
You need to figure out the problem and then figure out a solution.